discharge for a 100-year event of 280,000 cubic feet per second. If you use the PI Engineering's analysis of 2 years ago, you get a peak discharge of 246,000 CFS. If you instead substitute the Cedar and Woolley data points, you get a discharge of very nearly the same. And if you use the NHC data set, you get a discharge, again, of very nearly the same. Then if you use the most recent, what we believe to be the best data set, you get a discharge of 227,000 CFS at concrete as an unregulated flow. And so going back through those again, you see that the core is high. We've got 3 in the middle here. And then based on new information from the Hamilton-Smith House investigation, we think that those historic data points should be what we're showing here. So what's the effect of this? Oh, first, you've heard about the USGS study of that lowered the historic flood estimates, and here's what that looks like. Here's the original estimates, and here's the new ones. USGS lowered all of the historic flood estimates. Interestingly, the 1897 flood estimate was only lowered by about 3%, but the 21 estimate was lowered by about 5%. And again, that's compared to what we believe the correct discharge is for those historic flood data points. So first data points, the revised USGS data points, and then what we think they should be. So then what's the effect? The overarching problem with this analysis is that it generates a huge volume of water that exceeds our levee capacity. And if you look at the discharges, there's not that much difference, only 16%. We've been reminded of this several times, but it's the volume that kills us in these floods. And you'll notice that the Corps' analysis shows that the river level that exceeds our levee capacity would exceed the levee capacity for over 2 days, 52 hours, something like that. And you can see what that flood would look like compared to the flood of record that occurred in October 2003. And then you can compare that to the analysis that PI Engineering conducted 2 years ago, which was a very conservative analysis. So the volume under the blue curve is about 60,000 acre feet. And in fact, the Baker system alone could provide another 60,000 acre feet of storage if it's operated in a certain way and additional flood storage is authorized. It's not a linear relationship, and that alone wouldn't be enough to keep us safe downstream, but it gives you an idea of the level of magnitude. Now the Corps, because it's generating about 240,000 acre feet, it's the Corps' opinion that that additional Baker storage is not cost effective because in theory that storage would be overwhelmed by the magnitude of the flood event that it's showing.